Good morning, students. My name is CHSV Prasad Rao, Senior Lecturer in Electrical and Electronics Engineering in Government Polytechnic, Yadagirgutta. Today, we will start AC motors. In this AC motor, Chapter 1, we have the synchronous motor. In the previous class, we covered how the rotating magnetic field is produced at every instant. That means when we give the supply to a three-phase stator winding, it produces a magnetic field. Three phases, three-phase supply is given to three-phase stator winding, and each phase produces each flux, that is pi r, pi y, pi b. And the equation also we noticed, pi r is equal to pi m maximum flux into sine theta, and pi y is equal to pi y is produced at an angle of 120 degrees. So pi y is equal to pi m into sine of theta minus 120 degrees, and pi b third phase is produced after 240 degrees. So that is pi m sine theta minus 240 degrees. The three phases R, Y, B all are are apart at a degree or angle of 120 degrees apart each other, and produces a result magnetic flux, that one also 120 degrees apart. And we calculated in the last class of each instant, that is 0 degrees, 60 degrees, 120, 180, 240, 300, and at 360 degrees. What is the resultant flux? And each instant the resultant flux is same constant, that is 1.5 times the maximum flux. That one also we derived in the last class, each phase at each instant and the resultant flux, and that is rotating at a which speed? Synchronous speed. What is the formula for synchronous speed? That is ns is equal to 120 f by p. That is where f is the synchronous f is the frequency, p is the number of poles. And today we are going to cover construction details of the synchronous motor. How the construction is there, what are the parts, what are the windings we have, everything will be covered in this one. Construction of the stator, how many construction of the stator and construction of the rotor, how many types of rotor will be there, what is the difference between these, we can going to cover all these things here. And so let us see, this is the synchronous motor, how it is there. This is the outer frame, it is showing. This one is called outer frame, that is this one is the terminal box. Here we can give the three-phase supply. We open and we give the three-phase supply, and three-phase supply is connected to the stator winding. This one is the rotor. On this rotor we have the shaft. On this shaft we have the rotor and rotor winding. The rotor winding is rotating. When we give the three-phase supply to the stator winding, it produces a rotating magnetic field constant in magnitude, that is 1.5 times the maximum flux, and rotating at a speed of synchronous speed is produced. Because of this rotating field, the rotor starts rotating and the motor starts running at synchronous speed. So what it is? It is a electric machine. What is it contains? A synchronous generator or synchronous motor. It contains stator and the rotor. By seeing this, we can able to say which part is rotor, which part is stator. Good, your guess is right. The frame which is kept on the ground and this one is a stationary part. See here, the frame. This is the stator frame, and on the stator frame it has the outer slots on the inner periphery. Inner periphery it has on the slots. On these slots we have the stator winding. This one is the shaft. On this shaft we have the rotor. The rotor has the slots. Outer periphery they have the slots. These are the slots, and this is the rotor winding, and these are the slip rings which are attached here. These attached here. This one is the rotor winding, where we can see this one is a rotating part. The part which is rotating in a motor is called rotor, and the part which is stationary on the stator is called stator part. So this is the stator, this is a rotor. So if it goes inside and it starts rotating, the stator part outer phase is constant. The part which is stationary is called stator. The part which is rotating is called rotor. So this is stator, this is rotor, which is rotating, which is rotating, which is rotating. So this is the cross-section view of a cross-sectional view of a rotor. This shows this is a shaft, very beautiful picture. This is a shaft. You can see on one rod is there. This is called shaft. On this shaft we have the rotor winding. Okay, this is the rotor, and this one is the stator stationary part, stator, and this is the cooling duct, and this shows the bearings. As we know, the rotor is rotating. How it is rotate? The bearings will be there. If you see our two-wheeler or bicycle, how the tires are rotating? They have the bearings. On that bearings, it is rotating. Any rotating part must contain the bearing. And this one is the rotor winding, and this one is the stator winding. This is the stator winding, stator and the stator winding. This is the rotor and the rotor winding, and these are the connectors. These are the connectors. So how the frame will be there, like this it is there, both stator part and rotor part. See here, it is a very big stator. This is the stator part, and it contains the slots on the inner periphery. If you go any here, this is the stator, this is the stator slots. On this stator he is putting the stator stator winding as shown in figure. It is a big one where we will use this one, used as in a generating station. In very generating stations we have a very big motors and generators. There we will use this motors. Very beautiful picture. This one is a big one. So what is stator? The stator is a stationary member of a rotating machine. What it contains? Externally it contains a stator frame, outermost orbit. If you see in DC machines, the outer frame serves to carry the magnetic flux and holds stator poles. So it contains both stator frame and magnetic stator winding will be there. When we connect the stator winding to the three-phase supply, then what happened? The current is flowing through the stator winding, then it produces a flux that travels in the air gap. In alternator, stator frame is meant for only holding stator winding only. So it contains the stator winding, which is stationary. See here how the frame is there. This is the stator frame, this is stator, and this is laminated stator to reduce the losses. To reduce the losses, the frame is laminated, and it contains the slots on the inner periphery of the stator. These are the stator cores, laminated core, and it contains the inner periphery. And this is the stator copper conductors. This is the terminal box as I shown outside, where we can give the connections to the outermost terminal box. This is the keyhole. This is used to lift. How we can lift the motor? So that's why they kept the key hole. There we can lift the motor very easily by using this one. This is the stator slots. The stator slots are there on the inner periphery. And salient points of stator frame. The stator is made of soft iron or silicon steel laminations. Silicon steel. Why it is silicon steel is used? The silicon steel is used to reduce hysteresis losses. The core is laminated. Why the core is laminated? The core is laminated to reduce hysteresis losses. Silicon steel is used to reduce the hysteresis losses, and laminated core is used to reduce the eddy current losses. Three-phase winding is where the three-phase winding is kept. Yes, your guess is right. The stator, the three-phase winding is kept on the stator winding. As just now last class we noted, all these stator windings are 120 degrees apart. So laminations are stamped out in complete rings or in segments. So to reduce the losses, lamination and the silicon stall. The laminations are, how the laminations are? The laminations are insulated from each other. If the insulation is not there, then what happens? You become short circuited. After you can notice so many times, the motor is, someone is telling the motor is burned. How the it is burning? When it is running continuously, then what happened? Some losses are there. How the losses are there? The losses are in the form of a heat. When heat is produced, then what happened? The laminate insulation which is there between the windings will be spoiled, and it is short circuited, and the winding is spoiled. So that's why we have so many days, so many people say, don't, when the motor gets heated above its temperature, we have to stop the motor. Sometimes in nowadays what they are doing, if you have any mixie or grinder, they are using one automatic switch. So what this switch will do, when the temperature rises for particular instant of time, they will design for 100 degrees or 200 degrees. It reaches that temperature, then automatically the motor is switch off. So to eliminate this damage, so that to the insulation they are doing like this. The laminations have spaces between them for cooling air to pass the air through the laminations, so that it cool that laminations. The slots of housing the armature conductors lies along the inner periphery of the core. That means where the slots are there, just now we notice, once again I will show. We will go to back. See here, this is there on the inner periphery of the slot. These are there, they will put the air gap, and these are kept inner periphery of the stator. That means this is the stator, inner periphery of the stator. These are the laminated core, and insulation winding will be there between this one. This is there in this figure, previous figure we can see. I will show again. Here is here. Insulation will be there in between these there. This is the inner slots winding, and this black part is there na, that is the insulation. between winding, and red one is the winding, stator winding, and this black one is the insulation which is show. Okay, let's move forward. This is over. So laminates, air cooling will be there. Slots are lies with inner periphery of the core. Air will be there, insulation will be there. They have completely ring, that is ring form, that is a closed form. So if it is not closed, then what happened? The current flows? No, the current is not flow. Where the current flow? The current flows through a closed path. When it is a closed ring, then only the current flows. The slots are on the inner periphery of the core. See here, it is a wonderful figure. This is the stator here. This is the slots on the inner periphery. So this is the stator winding they are using. What they will do after the stator winding, they will place on the stator. See here, this is the windings, and this one is the insulation between these two insulation. After insulation, it is like this. This is the winding, insulation, both are kept here. See here, the winding is like this, three-phase winding. See here, very nice picture where it shows where it is showing the stator winding, stator poles, and how they are fixed here. See this four picture one by one. This is the pictures how the stator winding is kept. See here, this is the stator winding laminated iron core slots. This is, see here, it is this is the frame, metal frame, and this is the slots, and this one is the winding, and this part is already kept, the winding is kept, and this black one is showing the insulated copper bars are placed in the slots to form three-phase winding. It shows a very beautiful picture. It's showing everything. Stator frame is showing, stator poles is showing, winding is showing, everything is showing. Oh, the stator of large salient pole. Where it is used, it is used hydro generator. And here you can see the insulated conductors, spares, generator stator, and the rotor. This one is the rotor supporting part as a shaft. This one is the whole big part is a stator, very big motor. And here, this is the stator, this is the stator winding. If you see here, all are laminated with each other. Insulated conductors and the spaces between these two. So generator stator and the rotor supporters. How it is there. It is at the time of construction, stage by stage it is showing. So that is still now we covered about stator, what it contains, the stator, how the stator frame is there, where it is there, what stator contains, all this we have. So what it contains? It contains stator frame. What is the purpose of what is stator frame? It is the outermost part of the machine. This one. It is made with cast iron or cast steel. So its main function is to give the mechanical protection to the entire machine and to hold the core in a proper position. This is called the frame. That is the purpose of the stator frame. And next is stator core. What is stator core? That means the slot which contains here. This one is stator foam. This stator frame. This is stator core. This one. The stator frame. What it contains? The stator frame. The stator frame is laminated like DC armature core. The laminations are formed of special magnetic iron or silicon steel having slots on the inner periphery to accommodate conductors. The whole structure is held in the form in a frame or stator frame as shown in figure. This one. Since the field is stationary in the stator, the core is to minimize the eddy current. The stator core is laminated. Why the stator core is laminated? To reduce the eddy current losses. The laminations are stamped out in complete ring as shown in figure here. If you can, for small machines or in segments for large machines. It is a large. It is showing in a segments and insulated from each other with varnish or any insulating material. The stampings have opens with axis and radial duct. So that means for the cooling purpose. For cooling purpose, how it is? It is a open type, so that it must give some proper cooling. So when we get the proper cooling, what happens? It is continuously rotating. When the machine is connected to the supply, then what happens? The current is flowing through the stator winding, and it produces a magnetic flux. And this has the losses. When it has losses, the losses are in the form of a heat. The losses are in the form of a heat. So because of that heat, to how we can eliminate, we can produce this open type slots. So because of that one, it will reduce. And next we have the stator winding. The conductor where the stator winding is placed, the stator winding is placed in the stator slots. The conductor placed in stator slots are connected in parallel and it is known as the stator winding. The EMF is induced in this winding and produces current. These windings are made with insulated copper or aluminum. So that is the purpose of the stator. And it contains stator frame, stator core and the stator winding as shown in the figure. Next one is rotor. What is rotor? Very good. Your guess is right. The rotor is a rotating part of the machine is called rotor. What are the types of rotor? We have two types of rotor. That is, one is salient pole rotor and the one is non-salient pole rotor. All cylindrical type rotor. So what is rotor? A rotor is a rotating part is called a rotor. The name only it says it is rotating. That's why it is called rotating part. It mainly used to house the magnetic poles and magnetic fields. The field excited is usually provided from a small DC shunt or compound generator known as exciter. Where it is placed on the same shaft. As we know, the synchronous motor requires two supplies, AC and DC. The DC is required for the excitation. The exciting current is supplied to the rotor through how it is supplied? Through slip rings and brushes. The, the power rating of the exciter is 0.3 to 1% of the power rating of the synchronous motor. And the rotors are classified into two types, salient and non-salient. Salient type rotor, which is used for low speed and it contains As you know, when speed is low, poles are more number of poles, and it is used for Kaplan turbine. And where it comes to the non-salient pole, it is used for high speed, that is 3000 to 1500 rpm, and it contains, as you know, speed is high. What about number of poles? Number of poles will be reduces, that is 2 or 4 poles, and it uses Pelton wheel. Pelton wheel is used for this high speed non-salient. For salient, Kaplan turbine is used. For non-salient, Pelton turbine is used. So this is the salient pole, how it is there. The salient pole, two pole winding it is showing. These are the slip rings, and the slip ring and the shaft slip rings and the brushes are there here. This is the laminated core wiring, and this is the damper winding. To make the motor self-starting, we will have the damper winding on the stator core, and these damper windings are connected, series connected, all are seriously connected. This is laminated core to reduce the losses. This here laminated core, how it is there. This is the rotor, this is the shaft. On this shaft it has the rotor. On the rotor it has the outer periphery, slots on the outer periphery. This is called the teeth. This one is the teeth, this one is the rotor slots. Here we will keep the rotor winding. Here you see this one, he kept something here. These are the insulators where he kept. This is a laminated core. It has a large number of projected poles. So salient pole, where it is used in low and medium speeds, and large projected poles it has. These cores are bolted and heavy magnetic field is produced, and these are made with cast iron or steel. They have large diameter and short axial length. Large diameter and short axial length. The poles and pole shores are laminated. In the last class also we covered why we do the lamination: to minimize the eddy current losses. It is used for low and medium speeds. See here how it is rotating salient pole. So where it is used, the salient pole type, it is used in low and medium speed alternators, and the poles are made with steel laminations. The pole faces are usually provided with slots for providing the damper winding. See here, this one is the damper winding. Here on the poles we have this one. This is the damper winding. The damper windings are short circuited by both ends. End rings both are short circuited. These damper windings are used to prevent hunting and to provide the high starting torque. As I told, the disadvantage of synchronous motor, hunting is produced. So to reduce that one, what we are using the damper winding, and it produces the high starting torque. The field coils are placed as shown in figure, and all are connected in series. The ends of field windings are connected to a DC source through a slip rings. So why the salient pole is used? The salient pole has large diameter and short axial length. And next, what is the features of the salient pole? Poles are laminated. Tell me why? To reduce the eddy current losses. And these are used, salient poles, for hydraulic turbines and diesel turbines. They are used. And pole shoe covers about 2/3 of the pole pitch. They are designed like that. Salient pole. This is stator as shown in figure. This is stator. This is rotor, rotating part. and this is the stator winding, this is the rotor winding. So these are the parts. Slip rings, these are shows the slip rings. This is the rotor, this is the rotor slots, this is the rotor winding, and here it shows, as I told in the last class, cross section of views. This is dot and this is cross. This shows the magnetic field, how the magnetic lines is produced. This is for a low speed salient pole, for a low speed, that is low 120 rpm or less. Oh, low speed 120 or less than low speed. This is higher than 120 rpm, these two, and lower than 120, this one, higher than 120, this one. How they are connected? Slip rings is showing shaft, brushes, stator slots, stator winding, slip rings, everything shows. The top one is showing the speed higher than 120, and this one shows the lower than 120. See here, it is a 4-pole salient pole generator. This is the poles, this is the turbine blades where it is connected to the rotor. This is the shaft. These are the slip rings, 1, 2, 3. The windings are connected, slip rings. This one is the DC excitation winding where we have to give. They have provided fan also. The purpose of fan is, tell me anyone? Anyone can guess? For cooling purpose. And this is a big generator motor. It produces so much losses. The losses are in the form of a heat. And next one is smooth cylinder rotor. The rotor consists of a smooth cylinder is shown in figure. It contains large diameter and long axial length. Rotors are non-salient and do not project outside. This is a non-salient or smooth. Both, anything is same. Non-salient pole rotor or smooth cylinder rotor. Both are same. As shown in figure, it has the slots on the outer periphery. Okay, these, in this one we connect this is called rotor teeth. Inside we will put the rotor winding, and it is used for steam turbines for generating stations. These are designed for 2 poles. Why? Because the speed is high. That's why it is used here. See here, it is a cross-sectional view. It is showing large one. How the windings and the end rings and the slip layers and the rings will be there. For a big one, cross-sectional view, step by step, it is showing. So where it is used? It is used for a steam turbine, small diameter, large axial length, and the rotor winding is excited with a DC supply, and it carries a special winding is called damper winding. So how the damper winding is there? The damper winding consists of short circuited copper bars kept in the pole faces. And what is the purpose of it? Produces the high starting torque at the time of starting and eliminates the purpose and reduces the hunting. Hunting also reduces. I told in disadvantages we have in synchronous motor hunting. Hunting is produced when the load is speed is changed frequently or supply frequency is pulsating. Then hunting is produced. By using this damper winding, the hunting can be minimized, reduced. Now this is shows the shaft, DC excitation terminals, how we can give, and this one is the slip rings. This is the how the windings are kept. This is a very big rotor, how it is there. Rotor teeth is there, slots are there, rotor winding is there. It is first what they will do, they will first kept all the rotor. This is the shaft, and inside this this is the rotor parts. Outside this one, it come we gets the stator. This is the rotor. This is the rotor slots. You can see between these two, it is a insulator from each other. This is the rotor winding, shaft, teeths. Here they have the slip rings also to give the. This is used for a large hydro generator. See here the same thing. This is the stator which is kept. This is the rotor which is kept here. This is the shaft. On this shaft they will kept. This is the rotor winding, rotor slots. This is stator winding. Okay, and this here it is showing both stator and the rotor. If you see for a non-salient type rotor, that is non-salient. What is the other name of non-salient rotor? Just now I told smooth cylinder type also it is called. So where it is used very high speed for a steam turbines. That's why it is called steam turbines. In steam turbines, this type of rotor is used. This rotor consists of a smooth, solid steel cylinder having a number of slots on the inner periphery. See here, inner periphery it has the slots. Sorry, slots on the outer periphery, outer face surface on the rotor. It has outer periphery. These are used usually with high speed, where it is like 3000 to 1500 speed. As usual, speed is more than what about the poles? Poles will be minimum. That is 2 pole or four poles. The unslotted portion forms the frame as shown in figure. If you see the salient features, they are used for, they have small diameter and for very long axial length. They have less windage losses and the speed is 3000 to 1500. It is used in dynamic balances operation. So here what we another thing is used, we use the slip rings. What is the use purpose of slip rings? What is the manufacturer? They are manufactured, they are used hard drawn copper is used for slip rings. Slip ring where the circular slip rings are mounted on the same shaft and is insulated from the shaft. Slip rings are used to supply DC supply to the field winding. And what else it contains? It contains brushes and brush holders. So brushes are which type of brushes? Which are made with copper, and they are where the brushes are placed. The base brushes are placed on the slip rings. The brushes are stationary part. Their brushes are kept in the brush holders. Brush holders. And what it contains? Shaft contains bearings. The shaft is made with cast steel and it is attached between two bearings. So if it is attached with two bearings, then only it can rotate freely. So what we covered today? Today we covered stator and its construction and types of rotor and their construction. What contains stator? The stator is a stationary part. It contains stator frame, stator core and the stator winding. What is the purpose of stator frame? It is the outermost part of the machine and it is made with cast iron or cast steel. Its main function is to give mechanical support to the entire machine. Next one is stator core. The stator core is a laminated armature core and it contains the slots on the inner periphery where we will place the stator winding, and the stator core is laminated. Why it is laminated? To reduce the eddy current losses. That is stator core is laminated to reduce the eddy current losses. and it contains some cooling system also, stator. The stator winding, what it contains? The stator winding. The stator, where the stator windings are placed? The stator windings are placed on the stator core. Next one is rotor. What is rotor? A rotor is a rotating part of the machine. What are the types of rotor? It contains the two types of rotor, salient pole rotor and non-salient pole rotor. Where we'll use salient pole? The salient pole is used for low speed and it contains more number of poles and it is used capital turbine. Another one is non-salient. Non-salient cell contains used for high speed, that is 3000 and 1500 speed, and it contains 2 or 4 poles and we are used Pelton wheel. So these are the two types of rotor, salient and non-salient. The salient pole has, if you see the difference between salient and non-salient, salient has more number of poles and non-salient has 2 or 4 poles only. The speed of salient pole is less, the speed of non-salient is high. And salient pole contains large diameter, small axial length. That is, whereas in come to non-salient, it has small diameter and large axial length. Salient pole is used for low speed, medium speed, where non-salient is used for high speed. And where salient is used for water turbines and non-salient is used for steam turbines. So if you see the salient pole construction, it is difficult. Where if you see the non-salient, the construction is simple. And in air gaps are present. Whereas in non-salient, no air gaps. Whereas in salient, the flux is not uniform. Whereas in non-salient, the flux is uniform. So this is the construction and differences between rotors. What are the types of rotors? Salient and non-salient. That is the difference between the two rotors, salient and non-salient. So still now in this chapter, today class, we covered stator, what is stator contain, what is the purpose of stator, different types of where the slots are there. The slots are there, inner periphery, the stator winding is there, terminal box is there, how you connect the supply. It is a stationary part, and again rotor, it is a rotating part of the machine. It contains the rotating part, it contains the rotor. Which type of rotor we have? Two types of rotor we have, that is salient and non-salient, and we noted this and we covered the differences also. Which type of rotor is used where? For high speed, which rotor is used? For steam turbine, for water turbine, which turbine is used? Suppose if you required more speed, which we have to use, salient or non-salient? What is the construction difference between the two types of rotor? You read this one, all the today lesson, and if you have any doubt on this one, next class you can ask, we can again do the revision. Thank you.